Right now on Denver7 News, record-setting wildfires grow overnight ahead of what is expected to be a tough day for firefighters weather-wise. Plus, thousands more Metro kids are about to see a big switch for school. The new district talking about sending students back to remote learning. And the Pope's comments on gay couples this morning mark a major change for the church. Thank you for joining us on Denver7 News at 11. I'm Jacqueline Allen. We begin this morning with our Denver7 Weather Action Day, a red flag warning in effect. Meteorologist Stacey Johnson joins us. And Stacey, no rest for the weary with winds picking up yet again. I feel so bad for these firefighters.
That is so true. Yes, we have a red flag warning in effect starting at noon for our western suburbs up into the foothills and into the mountains. And outside right now, we still have smoke in the atmosphere. So we have an air quality warning here for the Front Range as well. And you can see what it looks like here at our City Park camera here over the Denver area. Still a little bit hazy, a little bit smoky. And going into the next 24 hours, we're really going to be dealing with some cooler air coming our way, and we have two cold fronts coming this direction, and it means snow for this weekend and very cold air. So some big changes coming our way. For the meantime, we have that air quality advisory in effect, high fire danger off to the west for gusty winds. We could see those winds gusting as high as 50 miles an hour going into the next 24 hours. So unfortunately, that is very poor weather conditions for the higher elevations for firefighting. And here for the Front Range, we'll continue to hang on to the smoke. So as I mentioned, though, we have those two big cold fronts coming our way. One is going to bring snow, and I'll tell you exactly how that will affect your weekend coming up.
All right, thanks, Stacey. This morning, dramatic new video of people escaping the Boulder fires as they flared up over the weekend. Take a look. Pretty terrifying video here. 16-year-old twins Shiloh and Luca had to drive right through the flames of the Calwood fire to try to get to safety. They went to help their dad evacuate their house, and just in time, theirs was one of the 26 homes that have been lost in this fire. The fire and drought conditions are so severe that the National Forest Service closed all of its land to visitors in 5 counties that stretch along the Front Range from the South Metro to the Wyoming border. Denver7's Eric Lufer is near an evacuation zone in Boulder County.
First off, an update from fire officials on the Calwood fire, which is burning just to the west of me here at this blockade off of US 36. Containment has increased now. The fire is now at 21% contained. Crews are going to try to fight this fire from the air as long as they can today before the winds really start to kick up. Later this afternoon, we could see gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Out of the unprecedented decision by the Forest Service to close a huge swath of forest land. Look at this map. That entire purple area, it stretches from the Wyoming border to south of the metro Denver area. The Arapahoe and Roosevelt National Forests make up a good chunk of the Front Range. The outdoor playground that we all love, but it's under attack now by fire and drought, and the risk to you and of causing more fires is just too great right now. The Forest Service also says there have been a lot of human-caused wildfires. And of course, we've got this limited capacity for emergency response because so much is going on up here already. As of Tuesday, more than 440,000 acres have burned in north central Colorado and in parts of Wyoming. That's the size of 2 Rocky Mountain National Parks combined. Of course, when it comes to the closures, those will be reevaluated each and every day. I'm Eric Lufer, Denver7.
All right, thanks, Derek. And Eric, here's where acreage and containment stand on the 4 major fires along the Front Range. The largest in state history, the Cameron Peak Fire in Larimer County, is 206,000 acres, 52% contained. Down in Boulder County, the Calwood Fire, 9,800 acres, 21% contained. The nearby Left-Hand Canyon Fire is much smaller, just 450 acres, 4% contained. And over in Grand County, the East Troublesome Fire, it grew significantly overnight, almost 5,000 acres, 19,000 total acres. Now containment is just at 10%. If you want to help the victims of these fires across Colorado, you can make a tax-deductible donation to Denver7 Gives. On the denverchannel.com right now, you can click on Denver7 Gives, and under the drop-down menu, select Help Colorado Wildfire Victims. We are working with our community partners to get all of those fire victims the help that they so desperately need right now. Now to the latest on the surge in coronavirus cases here in Colorado. The state has reported our largest daily case count since the pandemic began, with 1,208 new cases yesterday. Our positivity rate did not change. It's still above the 5% threshold set by the World Health Organization. As far as hospital capacity, there are more than 500 hospital beds in use by people who have COVID or are suspected to have it. Our state's hospital bed capacity is around 12,000. But Governor Polis and state health leaders say if things keep going in this direction, we could see our hospital system overrun by the end of December.
We have very little wiggle room there. If we can improve our transmission control in the next week or so, we can give our healthcare system much more of a cushion, avoid significant strain, and ensure that we can avoid use of alternate care sites and strategies.
The virus is not tired of us. It is still deadly. It currently has sent 417 Coloradans to the hospital. Many will make it out and some will not.
The virus is not tired of us. That's right. Next week, the governor plans to give us a more in-depth update on surge capacity and hospitalizations. Rising cases are forcing several metro school districts to reconsider a return to in-person learning. Denver and Aurora Public Schools both announced delays in returning to campus for older students. The Adams 12 district could be next. Denver7's Micah Smith is in Thornton, where the school board plans to vote tonight.
The Board of Education will consider and vote on recommendations from the superintendent during the regularly scheduled meeting tonight at 6 p.m. The board is thinking about pivoting 6th through 12th graders to full remote learning. Right now, those students learn 2 days a week in person. The superintendent's recommendations also include teachers and class assignments remaining the same. Kindergarten through 5th grade students would continue learning in person 5 days a week, and in-person learning would also continue for students with disabilities, advanced learning plans, and English language learners. The recommendation to transition to remote learning for middle and high schoolers comes after consulting with local health officials who say COVID-19 positivity rates are extremely high right now. According to the Tri-County Health Department, they've witnessed a continuous and gradual increase in cases over the past 5 weeks. If this transition to remote learning for 6th through 12th graders is approved, it could start as early as this Thursday and would last until the end of the fall semester. Reporting in Adams County, Micah Smith, Denver7.
All right, thanks, Micah. The Tri-County Health Department, which oversees Arapahoe, Douglas, and Adams counties, says masks are here to stay. Their face covering order was just extended through the duration of the pandemic, but the health department could make changes if conditions call for it. The surge in coronavirus cases isn't just in Colorado. 41 other states are reporting a rise in hospitalizations, and the death toll just passed 221,000. ABC's Elizabeth Schultze reports from Washington.
As coronavirus cases surge again, a sobering new reminder from the CDC of its devastating toll. The health agency now saying the U.S. saw nearly 300,000 more deaths in the past 10 months than what's usually expected annually. Adding hospitalized COVID-19 patients are 5 times more likely to die than patients hospitalized with the flu. The CDC saying the coronavirus has taken a disproportionate toll on Latino and African American lives, as well as 25 to 44-year-olds.
This is not a disease that spares anybody. And there has been this kind of drumbeat of, oh, it's only the elderly. First of all, that would be bad enough. But second, it's all of us.
The World Health Organization reporting more than 36,000 people died worldwide from COVID last week alone. 2.4 million were infected. In the U.S., cases are rising in 44 states and territories with an average of 57,000 new cases per day. The latest White House Coronavirus Task Force report obtained by ABC News shows 31 states are now in a so-called red zone for cases, up from 26 states the week before. Hospital workers overwhelmed yet again.
You know, we're human. Our emotions get to us. Sorry. It's just hard to see.
In Utah, nurses comforting patients unable to say goodbye to their families.
We have patients who are dying alone with the only people at their bedside is their clinical teams because they can't have family.
Meantime, there are still ongoing negotiations for another coronavirus stimulus bill here in Washington. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has set Friday as the new deadline for a deal, and White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says he's optimistic about getting it done. Elizabeth Schultze, ABC News, Washington.
Breaking news right now. The governor reinstated the eviction moratorium. That means landlords are banned from pursuing eviction against people who can demonstrate that they are experiencing financial hardship because of the pandemic for the next 30 days. Also breaking, the company that makes OxyContin will plead guilty and pay $8 billion in fines. This is a landmark settlement in the opioid crisis. Purdue Pharma will admit that it lied about having an effective program to help patients avoid misuse. In a major shift for the Catholic Church, Pope Francis voiced his support for same-sex civil unions. In a documentary out this week, the Pope says, quote, "Homosexuals have a right to be part of the family."